Hi, I'm Adam. This is me. I'm an ex-airline employee turned truck driver with a passion for travel, and I started this channel to document my adventures around the world and share what I discover along the way. I really do appreciate you being here. Let's go. Hi, welcome to the channel and welcome to part 1 of a new series called SkyTeam Road to Gold. As you join me here arriving at Cardiff Airport, I'll sort of explain what this is about. I'm currently a silver member with Virgin Atlantic, 450 tier points. Most of that comes thanks to a Virgin holiday which I was the lead booker on for me, some friends and a family member back in November, where you collect tier points on the Virgin Holidays bookings. But the goal of this is simple, and it's to basically see if someone with a full-time job can attain gold status before the end of the year. So come along with me here from Cardiff to Paris on Air France and find out. Check-in was advertised as opening 3 hours before departure, but they didn't actually open up until 2 hours before. Doesn't really matter, but I was there for about 35 minutes, just sort of waiting around for it to open. Once you do get through check-in and security, you go through the photo opportunity, and as any airport in the world, the duty-free shop. You join me in the lounge here at Cardiff Airport. The lounge has some scaffolding up at the minute as the airport's getting a bit of a facelift. It blocks some of the views of the side apron in the British Airways maintenance facility. The only hot food option was a selection of pastries. I went for a chicken curry one, paired with a Welsh fruit cider. It was really nice, I enjoyed it, but I'm not sure I would go through it again because, as most pastries are, it was really messy, and it's not really what you want before a flight, is getting pastry all over you. What I would say is that it was a really nice touch to see the lounge with mostly local Welsh produce. It was a really nice thing to see, being Wales' only international airport, to see it full of local things and not the mass-produced stuff for the most part. The staff were brilliant, attentive and really polite. I would definitely use the lounge again. It didn't have the best facilities in the world, but this is a small regional airport and it does exactly the job it needs to. Before long, we were starting to make our way to the gate when boarding was called in the lounge, and we were told to go to gate 5, I think it was off the top of my head, but they changed the gate at the last moment and sort of just pulled us all into the first one. We'd been waiting in the gate area for probably 10 to 15 minutes before they called business class through for boarding in group 1. I did originally book the flight in economy, but during the online check-in I was offered an upgrade to business class. Despite knowing it wouldn't earn any extra tier points, I had a pretty good deal on it. I think it's around the £50 mark from memory, but I'll double check that and put an exact cost breakdown for the whole flight in the description anyway. Once I do get on board, as you'll see, I'm not really going to go through the seat in this video. Anyone watching this by now, or the majority I should say, probably already know that European business class is just economy seats with a blocked middle seat. All the value comes from the soft product, the service and lounge access at the airport. It's not really great when you compare it to places like Australia and the US, where you do get big recliners, but there doesn't seem to be anyone pushing anyone else in Europe to improve, so this is basically what you're going to get for the time being. While the rest of the economy cabin was still boarding, I had a quick look at the safety card for the aircraft, which today was an Airbus A320, which was 6 years old, registration Fox Golf Lima X-Ray Yankee. Once boarding was completed, a refreshing towel and pre-departure bottle of water was handed out by the cabin crew, who were excellent and really did do everything quickly on such a short flight. We departed Cardiff and headed east. And while we do that, I will sort of mention that this video is probably a little different to what I'm planning to do later on in the series, because this video is less of a detailed seat review, or flight review I should say, and more just a sort of informal chat about the experience, as well as an introduction to the channel and myself as a whole. It's probably also worth noting that this is not a regularly scheduled flight into Cardiff. Air France do not serve Cardiff year-round. This was one of a few special flights they put on just for this specific weekend to help with some additional demand for the Six Nations Rugby Union match between Wales and France in Cardiff. It's quite a rare sight seeing Air France in and out of Cardiff. Every couple of years they sort of pop up when it's the turn of Wales to be the home team in the Six Nations. So I thought this time, while the opportunity was there, I'd book myself on it and see what they were like. As we do head out east out of Cardiff here, we start to get some good views of St Athan Airfield, formerly MOD St Athan, and base of E-Cube Solutions, who break up a lot of aircraft when they come to the end of their working lives. There can't be that many places in the UK, I don't think, where there's two commercially sized airfields that are so close together. If there is, let me know in the comments, because I genuinely can't think of many. It's just an interesting thought that popped into my head as I was doing this. I was busy here recording some aerial views of my hometown on departure, and the crew had already come round with the in-flight meal. It was a cold meal provided today, which was some sautéed shrimp with pearl pasta, coloured vegetables and a lemon-tinted lobster sauce. It was served alongside a selection of cheeses, a bread roll and a chocolate cake for dessert. It was actually really nice and I thoroughly enjoyed it, but we were not given any choices. It was literally that or nothing. I accompanied it with a Diet Coke, and by the time the crew had collected the tray, we had some great views of Gatwick Airport around halfway across to Paris. The aircraft was equipped with Wi-Fi. You could purchase more, or if you had a Flying Blue account, it was free for messaging only. There was a moving map to show your location, which updated every 5 minutes or so, and some flight information as well as gate information and transfer information if you needed that. There were a couple more drink services in the business class cabin before landing, but nothing else particularly of note. As I mentioned earlier, the crew were excellent. I really enjoyed them. They were really friendly, and we also had a nice chat about the rugby and some football as well, because they noticed I was watching the first half of the Cardiff City game against Luton Town on my phone before we departed. It was genuinely quite nice to see them take an interest in what their passengers were doing and then go out of their way to chat to them about it. It wasn't just me they chatted to about my hobbies and things like that. They were chatting to other passengers in the cabin, and it's nice to not have crew sort of hiding in the galley. It genuinely was a breath of fresh air, and it really did put Air France up in my estimation, and it would probably bump them up to being my preferred airline of choice, especially in European business class at the moment. I've only ever flown BA in Club Europe a few times before this in Europe, and the crews there can be hit or miss, so it genuinely was nice to have a crew who seemed interested in their passengers and didn't just disappear after the service. After landing, there was quite a long walk to passport control and baggage reclaim. I don't really know if that's a Charles-De-Gaulle thing or if that's just the specific gate we landed at on this occasion. I've heard some bad things about Charles-De-Gaulle in Paris, but I've been through this airport 6 or 7 times with different airlines and I've never had a problem and I've always enjoyed it. I did see all the Skytrax awards for the airport. I wouldn't go as far as saying it's the best airport I've been to, but I've always enjoyed my time there, like I said. I really do want to say thank you very much for watching and making it this far. It's probably clear to you all, but I'm still getting used to speaking into a microphone and camera, and hopefully that will improve over time. If you do have any constructive feedback for me though, whether that's audio levels, pacing, anything else, please let me know in the comments. This is my first video and I really do appreciate any advice or any tips that any of you would want to give me. If you enjoyed this, please do like and subscribe. Part 2 of the SkyTeam Road to Gold series will be coming soon, and I'll also have some other travel videos later in the year. Potential hotel reviews maybe, if I feel like doing them, I don't really know yet. But I have flights on other airlines coming up as well through the year, including an economy flight on British Airways' longest flight from London Heathrow to Sydney Kingsford Smith, which will be quite interesting. You'll see all my socials in the description as well. Feel free to follow along there if you want to. Thank you again so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.